Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is MacGuffinSC, and I'm bringing you some high-level StarCraft 2 action. Tonight we have Naniwa versus Sen. Now this is from the 2011 Blizzcon Invitational, and we have Sen as the red Zerg and Naniwa as the green Protoss. And they've spawned on Lost Temple, and unfortunately for Sen we have close positions. Not the position you want as Zerg. This is going to leave Naniwa able to do a lot of very aggressive tactics if he so wishes. And this is interesting. We've got a low ground pylon. This signifies a Forge First expand for the Protoss, which will allow him to harass any Hatch First builds with cannons, or just block the expansion for as long as he can. And we have Sen doing the extractor trick. And Naniwa's probe has found the red Zerg base already, and he'll be able to get an idea of what he's doing. Sen is up to 13 drones and no pull yet, so at this point Sen should be deciding what he's going to do, whether it's going to be a pull or a hatchery. And here comes Naniwa's probe, and I imagine he's going to throw down a forge any second now, and there it is. Sen is getting his spawning pool now, so he's decided to go without the hatch first, probably because the probe was already in his base. But he may be going for an early pool, maybe an early hatch, such as a 14 pool, 16 hatch. And now we've got the drone harassment. That drone really wants to get that hatchery down, or at least signifies that it is. He's dropping a pylon to delay, and he is getting out of there. Sen still hasn't located Naniwa yet, although his overlord should be scouting it soon enough. He knows it's not in the close air positions. And we have the pylon cancelled. Naniwa getting back that valuable 75 minerals. Ooh, and a double extractor trick. Now this is either because he forgot to build an overlord, but more likely because of the unit production tab. We see 4 Zerglings coming out, and so this means that Sen is wanting to do a bit of an aggressive move, in case Naniwa's gone Nexus first with no cannon, but we do see that that cannon is already finished. So how much damage can he really do? These lings are out now, so there'll be no possible chance of a pylon or cannon harassment. He split up 3 lings there. Maybe the first one lone ling is going to check just in case there was any pylons. And the lings are taking an interesting path. It looks like they were going to go to the watchtower, but then they turned back. The lings are coming up on the Protoss base. Ah, he must have seen it with his overlord. And there is that one cannon up. Oh, great move by Sen. He's running around. He's found a blind spot. He'll be able to attack the Nexus. Naniwa's forced to put down that extra cannon. He's harassing a bit with his probe, trying to get the links to come off, but they're not. Sen's trying to... This move is really just to force one cannon. Costs Naniwa an extra 150 minerals. Puts him back there. That's the same cost as say a gateway. But with that second cannon finishing, he's not going to be able to do a lot of harass. So he might be able to get 2 probe kills, but oh, he misses and he loses 2 lings. Naniwa being quite fine at the moment. Zerg is up a little bit, but I expect that to change once that hatchery finishes. He's already got the queen down there, and he's repositioning his overlord. Now, when a Protoss goes Forge First, you've got several options as a Zerg. You can go for a quick third and drone up to max, which is around 75 drones. Because the Protoss can't really do any aggressive moves until around 7 to 8 minutes plus into the game, which is when a 6-gate attack would hit. Or something similar, like a something with Robo or a +1. Protoss can go for a Stargate though, which they can use to harass the overlords and try and grab any of the... The Zerg doesn't really have a good expansion choice. The gold's got rocks, and the further away expansions would be vulnerable to that Stargate play, which we do see a Stargate going down. Naniwa sending in a Zealot, maybe for a bit of scouting, and also to score some drone kills. The Zealot costs 100 minerals, so he's got to get 2 drone kills or it's not going to be effective. And here we go, he's not going to micro that drone, that's 1. Going to get the second one and make even, and oh, so close, that drone is on 1 HP. We're going to have to see what comes out of this Stargate as soon as it finishes. Is it going to be a Phoenix or is it going to be a Void Ray? The one Void Ray can harass the Overlords by itself, as well as the Phoenix could. If you go Phoenix, you really need 2 or 3 to do any moderate harassment to the Zerg's economy. Take out Overlords, but he can just withdraw them. The one Void Ray can get those extra drone kills without using Graviton Lift. Our Sen being so active with those Lings, they're constantly at his front, he knows what's going on. And we can see in the silhouette that the Void Ray is coming out. If you're an opponent player, we can see through the production tab, but if you're not, and you're say you scout the Protoss base with an Overlord or something, or using a Terran scan, you can see the silhouette, so you know what's coming out with you, and you can get a bit of a chance to prepare for it. Metabolic boost for the Zerglings is about halfway done, and he has an infestation pit coming down. He's also getting an evolution chamber, so he can get some upgrades, but also those important spore claws to protect his production lines. And let's see. Ooh, he's utilizing an upgrade, but it's not melee attack, it is ranged. He doesn't actually have any ranged units apart from Queens, so this is interesting. Are we going to see some Roaches or Hydralisks later in the game? I wouldn't think so. Maybe Roaches, but not Hydralisks. The Stargate can force Hydralisks, but on 2 base he can easily switch to a robotics tech. And that's what the Protoss wants. He wants him to go Hydralisk, and then he can hit him with those Colossus and roast him up. We are getting the pathogen glands for the Infestor energy though. And we haven't seen any indication of a third, although he is breaking down the rocks, but it may be for a counter-attack path. Now with the missile attack and the pathogen glands coming out, and no other techs such as Roaches, I'm going to have to say that I think Sen is going to go for some heavy Infestor play with Fungals and probably Infested Terrans, which is why the missile attack's being upgraded. But we're going to have to see. We do have Naniwa dropping down at Robotics Bay. So like I said, if he goes into Colossus Void Ray, it'd be very hard for the Zerg player. And he has, he's got two Void Rays and a Phoenix now, which is great for harassment. The Zerg can't really leave his base like this. We have 3 more gateways coming up for Naniwa, and a robotics bay, so we will be seeing those Colossus. We have 1 Immortal coming out. Naniwa probably anticipating that Sen was going to pick up some Roaches, but he hasn't. It's an interesting move. The Immortal's not going to be very effective at all versus those Zerglings. They do bonus damage to the Infestors, but he really doesn't want to have his Infestors that far into the battle. We do see 4 Infestors already out and 2 more on the production tab, as well as Burrow. So he will be. Looks like he will be doing the harassment. And since he hasn't researched Neural Parasite, that's my biggest indicator that I think he's going to go Infested Terrans Fungal. With that Neural Parasite nerf, we haven't been seeing that much Colossus being neural. It's just so hard to get him off in the right positions without being sniped by Blink Stalkers, or in this case, Graviton Beam from the Phoenixes, which instantly cancel the Neural Parasite. His Lings are still walking down that rocks, but that may be so that you can counterattack, thinking that Naniwa might attack through that path as well, or try and go for that expansion. And he is again going into the front with the Lings. And here we come the Infestors. Are we going to see Infested Terrans, or is he going to try and there goes the Infested Terrans. This could be very good for Sen if he can target fire one of the buildings. What's he going to go for? The force fields don't have any effect on the Infested Terrans as they're ranged units. I'm not seeing much going down. I don't know what the Infested Terrans are doing. I don't know, I think that all those Infested Terrans have been wasted. I mean, we haven't seen much kills for the Zerg player. And I gotta say, I think he was just a bit indecisive in that. He could have focused on that Cybernetics core, but he didn't. Probably used it too late. And now we do have 2 Void Rays and a Colossus. Extended Thermal Lance is almost done, as well as a second Colossus, and that's going to be really deadly for the Zerg. And that counterattack path is really good for the Protoss player. You will of course be able to channel through that little ranged area, which will make it quite hard for Sen. I have to say I'm getting a bit worried for Sen in this position. He's getting that extra tech he needs now, Spire and Roaches. But it might be a bit late. But it's not going to be up for a while. And it looks like Naniwa is gearing up for an attack. All he's got, Sen's only got Lings and Infestors at the moment, so he's going to have to get some very good fungal growths if he wants to win this. He has taken down those rocks, and that counts as the pylon that Sen was going to Naniwa was going to put down, but he replaced it with a slightly further away one. We're going to have to see what... Oh, and a counterattack from Sen. This is a great idea in his position. He's got the faster units. He can keep going backwards and forth, and he can't engage that army with this composition. Looks like he brought his infestors, but he's not going to use them. He probably wants to save them for the overall battle. It's going to take a lot of fungals to kill those Colossus and Void Rays. However, he has got Neural Parasite finishing up in a moment. And level 2 range attack coming in, as well as the Glial Reconstitution, which is Roach Speed, as well as some Corruptors. So it looks like he's taking into a more standard Roach Corruptor army to deal with this. This is going to be hard. He's going to have to take out the Colossus if he wants his Roaches to do anything. And the Void Rays and Phoenixes are going to be secondary targets. He's probably going to hope that they get taken out by the collateral damage of the Fungal's AoE. Now, what is Naniwa going to do? Is he going to expand? Oh, that's an interesting move. He's putting a cannon up there. It looks like he doesn't really have an observer with him, does he? He hasn't gone in to take out the creep yet. So that's probably what the cannon's for. The chance that burrowed roaches come up, and this is a great position for Naniwa. He's got that tight corridor, and oh, nice force fields, using the architecture of the Zerg's base against him. But those Corruptors are flying over, and they are trying to take out what they can. Although they're a bit out of position, and he's going to lose. And I mean, even when these force fields go down, if he doesn't place them, the Zerg's going to have to funnel through that tiny corridor. But now he is in fungal range, and the Fungals are eating up those Stalkers. Looks like he's starting to pull out a bit. The Colossus is moving back. Oh, nice Fungal. He caught that little group of Stalkers and an Infestor. Oh, but the Infestors, they're going too far ahead. He's losing the Infestors. The Infestors have too much energy. Maybe they're on the same hotkey. Maybe it's just a bit of a blender, but I think that cost Sen a lot. He is down in supply. Although, if he can clean up this Colossus, he might be alright. We have 2 Colossus escaping on low HP, and that's got to be a blow for Sen, although we have over 20 Roaches on the production tab, and that is the Zerg's forte, mass reproduction. Is he going to take this advantage? And it looks like Naniwa didn't get out in time, and we lost one Colossus. Is he going to get the second? Or if that Colossus is then... Oh, and that goes down. But a new Colossus is on the field, and with that extend lines, he's going to be able to take advantage, and all those force fields are good. He's not going to be able to take out that army. And I've got to say, with this... And oh, Sen GG's. And we can really see why Sen chose that. It's going to be next to impossible for him to get up a secure third, that it can't be harassed by air or the Protoss army, and Naniwa is getting that close expansion, which makes counterattacking for him so easy. And anyway guys, this has been MacGuffinSC. I hope you enjoyed this game.